Game 1 has seen the Stockton Heat take a 1-0 lead in this series. Close game for most way, but then a couple of good plays at the end gave the Stockton Heat the 4-1 victory and a 1-0 lead in the series. Can the Bears come back and make this a 1-1 series after tonight? We'll see what happens as we hit Game 2 of the Hershey Bears Stockton Heat Calder Cup Finals right here on the YouTube channel and LeagueGaming.com. Hi, everyone. TSibs with you. Joining me tonight will be Vibes a little later on. And tonight we'll also have somebody, a member from the Heat, joining us tonight. Biggie Biggs is with me, and he'll be also helping to call the action. So we have some balanced coverage of both the Bears and the Heat tonight. And Game 1, Biggs, yesterday, a good close game for most of the way. A couple of good plays on the Heat side. A couple of goals coming from taking shots from the point, looking for deflections and getting them. And you guys, one thing I've noticed about the Heat all through the playoffs is you guys just don't have one method or two methods of attacking. You guys do a bunch of different things, including getting it on the net, looking for deflections, looking for rebounds, but you'll also run some set plays as well. You have a good mixture of a few different things to throw at a defense, and I got to believe that's part of the key to your team's success all season long.
Yeah, I mean, you got to go by the laws of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if things aren't connecting, you got to try something new too. You can't just keep doing the same thing over and over expecting results, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And so, you guys have had some interesting matchups throughout the playoffs, obviously. You played two incredibly tough teams in Dallas and the Iowa Wild, both of them taking you to 7. What if anything positive came out of those series? Obviously, you would have liked to have closed them out sooner, including the Wild, where you were up 3-0. But what positive comes out of a series like that goes 7 games?
I think the most positive thing we can take from at least the Iowa series is that you can't take a team, you got to take them seriously all the way through. You can't go, oh, we're up 3-0 and we got 3 games to close them out. So you got to take every game seriously because they're coming out with life or death situation. And I was just thinking about that for the NHL playoffs today. Any team in the actual NHL playoffs in real life will probably closing out a sweep series. The hardest game is going to be that 4th game. So you got to be ready for it. And even with Dallas, it was sometimes you're looking over a team like Dallas. Like Dallas really surprised me at least. And you just can't do that. Obviously, we pulled through in both series, but it's something that coming to this finals, I know that all of our players, even though everyone's saying that we have a huge advantage after beating the Wild, but we can't take Hershey lightly, and we've had 2 series where we almost got caught doing that, and it's definitely not going to be something we overlook now.
I think we see tremendous. Obviously, people tend to look at the forward lines, and focus on that. But I think one thing I really like about both these teams is that we see tremendously successful defense, including goaltending on both sides. Talk about a little bit about Trash Clown and Flyers, and then also about your defensive pairings and how well they've done this season.
Both goalies are awesome. Trash can be a little more consistent, but I've seen Flyers play games that he just stands on his head. I think Flyers might even have more potential than Trash once he fixes that consistency, but he's also something I love about goalies in a party is that party presence, and they both bring that. Because, they're not playing half the game, right? So why not focus on pointing out pointers that not everyone else is looking at? As far as defense, I think we're pretty gifted. We have some pretty strong defense. I haven't had a defensive partner like Tanner in a long time. He's a gift to me. And, of course, we have experience with Matthew a lot as well. I really don't think we have any holes in our defense. It's the strongest part of a team, and I would personally, being a defense finds a team builds up from its defense. I mean, your forwards could be amazing, but if you can't get the puck out of your zone on a nice breakout, where's your offense coming from?
Right. Well, we talk about your defense, and it's something that we talked about on the show on Sunday. We mentioned all the nominations for the awards that are coming up, which we'll be getting to a little later on in this month, probably in about 3 weeks actually or so, that we're going to have the announcement for that. But for the Eddie Shore, the best defenseman, we've got yourself and Mathral, who is two of the nominees for best defenseman, and I think that says a lot when two of your players, yourself and a teammate, are two of the 8 who are nominated for best defenseman, and some of the others that are on this list with you guys, Bubba from the Wild, JML from Syracuse, Off-Road also from the Wild, Ryan was here, Philly Gonna Spank You, and the Statistician, all from teams that made playoffs and several teams that were damn successful this season, and I think that really goes to speaking how important defense is, and I think the better GMs and the better AGMs understand that, and they make it a point to keep that in mind when they're doing their draft, and I think that's a big reason why both of these teams are successful. And like you said, when you find that right D partner, man, that pairing, when you two guys know what each other's doing, it means so much, and it's a key to how well your team's going to play all year.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty special. I think I'm really surprised at the Wild because they've had, I could argue, maybe a better core defense than we did. And you can see that with who's been nominated, like Bubba, Off-Road, and Ryan was here, all crazy good players. My fan favorite is probably Bubba. I've played with him before, and he's a solid player, great dude. And they kind of show what a team can do when you play defense. And they're probably we also noticed too a lot that Iowa had quite a bit low scoring games, but it's just they played such strong defense they didn't need to put up the numbers half the time.
We're going to take a little bit of time here now to talk to Bob Swagger. Got a chance to interview him before tonight's game and get his opinion about what he's seen so far, and a little bit about what he's expecting to see tonight. Bobby Swagger joins me now on the pregame show. And Bob, game one obviously not going the Bears' way in a 4-1 loss, but the play was not bad for most of this game. What do you take out of game one that the Bears need to look at moving into game two and the rest of the series?
I don't think we played bad game one, but maybe we ended up letting up a breakaway. When you play against a line like Loops, you're not going to get away with winning.
They were throwing a lot of pucks on the net right away. I've seen a lot of games recently where it looks like a lot of teams have kind of gone that way because I suppose the game, allows for some crazy rebounds and some opportunistic chances. Do you see that as a viable option for the Bears as part of their offensive strategy, or is it a good mix of a few different things that we have to do to play this good Heat team?
Yeah, everybody kind of does it. Anything you can do to get the goalie moving and thinking a little bit is usually going to work out better for the offense. So, we got to do anything we can to put goals up on these guys because they're tough to beat.
How do you, what's the general idea as far as matching up lines? Is it even worth it to consider it that much, or do you really, because they're so good, because they're so stacked, you really want to try and get certain matches to try and offset how these different lines play for them?
Matchups are important, but when they have home ice, you really can't do much with matchups. You can try to predict who they're gonna put out, or but in the end, you don't really know. So the first couple games, we've kind of had to just play what we have for availability and set it up for later in the series. But they're a deep team, so every line they can put out there is capable of winning.
you got your line going out there with Nismo and Ethan. Talk about how you guys have been able to find some chemistry. Ethan was not on your line much first half of the season, but you've added him in, and you guys have been humming along pretty good. Talk about what kind of chemistry you three have.
Yeah, Ethan wasn't on the line really for any of the regular season. I think we put him there when we started the playoffs, but we've played club a lot together, so it wasn't like we were really starting something new. But we've been all right in the playoffs. We had a tough game versus Lobo, the low-scoring game that we lost with half a second. But other than that, I mean, we've been pretty good. Just trying to stay consistent.
And Moose in net tonight. He's been obviously incredibly consistent. What do you expect out of Moose with again such good forward lines up and down from the Heat? What does Moose have to do to continue to be successful?
Moose just has to do what he does. I mean, he's incredibly consistent. I mean, you get what you see is what you get with Moose. Every night, you know he's going to give you his best, and usually that's enough to keep you in the game. So that's really all we need from him tonight. Keep us in the game and see what happens.
All right, Bob. Thanks a lot. Best of luck to you tonight.
All right, Sibs. Appreciate it.
Bobby Swagger spending a few minutes with me earlier today, and so yeah, I mean it's. The team played well yesterday. It was a good game for quite a while there. Again, a couple of breakaways late in the game. Some good movement by you guys, by the Heat to free up a player or two to have some good runs and put a couple of goals away late in the game to make it the 4-1 lead, but 4-1 win. But it was certainly a good match for most of it before the last couple of goals, and so. Lines tonight, as you've probably seen as most people have probably seen on the website, line matchups tonight are, let's see, it's Nismo, Bob Swagger, and Ethan going up front for the Bears, and defenseman or plus-size pounder, UPSY, Moose in net. For the Stockton Heat, it's T-Saints, Jason, 23, on the wings, Ajax at center, Gregor and Matt on D, and Trash Clown back in net again tonight. So some interesting lineups. I arguably would say, Biggs, that the Swagger line probably... maybe the 1A line. I think Mafia might be the 1B line, or vice versa. They're both pretty close, and you guys certainly, the home team has to wait for the matchup and see what goes out there. But I think you have to have probably just about equal concern about both of those lines.
Oh yeah, they're both concerns. I mean. Personally, I don't know too much about Hershey. I've heard lots of good things, and you could always go based off stats. I find stats can be kind of phony sometimes.
Sure.
Not that I'm, for example, like you're looking at our team who's possibly on a cold streak right now is similar stats, but in a game like this, sometimes it doesn't matter. Sometimes some lines get the best of other lines. You could be playing against NHL players and just your chemistry just outplays their defensive style. I'm excited to see what Hershey has in store. I've heard of a lot of these names, and I'm interested in seeing their play style, their chemistry, and even to see what the whole Moose excitement is all about. I haven't been able to see it yet, so it's thrilling.
Well, that's part of the problem is when you've got the East and West only playing 2 games against each other. For the entire season, it's hard to get a gauge. We talked about this. February 28, March 28. Those are the 2 games we played. Those are more than a month. The last one more than a month away from when we played it, and teams change a lot from February to end of April, beginning of May. So they're not really a great gauge of understanding what's going to happen in the series, and it's also just not a lot of experience that you have with this other team. You have to do a little more, maybe some research and looking back at saved games to kind of get an understanding. I've been lucky enough to watch you guys all season and cover games, but a lot of the Bears don't necessarily know what to expect out of the Heat.
Yeah, when it comes down to that, I'd say you guys have a bit more advantage as far as studying us, where we've been together, most of us, for a lot longer than you guys have. The only difference is we've had a little bit more time to build the chemistry together. But yeah, like you're saying, we're on opposite ends. We don't meet up with each other, and it's also been different roads for us to go get to the finals here. People would argue you guys had an easy path. I don't think it was easy path like you guys mentioned before. You still beat a top crunch line in 4-1, and they had probably the toughest pass out of the East if you want to go based off stats and on records on paper. But to get there so easily is definitely something to be scared of. And I mean, you just gotta play your best hockey. Sometimes you can study all you want and you can tell your guys what to do, but it comes down to the practical.
Right. Well, we are getting ready to start this game up now as both teams are there, and we are thankful for Moose for putting out the camera for us. And so game number 2 now underway, and the Bears looking to move the puck out. Heat controlling at this point. Pounder trying to get out of his zone, stuck behind the net. Now loose puck out front, dangerous play. Moose got a piece of that shot, now in front of his net again. Bears having some difficulty getting it out of their own zone, and the Heat continue to press. Back out to the point for Matt. Now the Heat try and bring it in again, and Nismo. Now Wyatt getting it out. This is Nismo again. Puck kept in. And now the Bears finally get it back out again. This to Ethan. Ethan trying to find Nis again. Wraparound attempt is blocked off, and Trash Clown will hold on to it.
Would you say your team is very active before games for warm-ups and whatnot?
Not really. There's not an awful lot of that necessarily going on. So it's they do from time to time, but there's not a ton of practice and warm-up, and for some reason it seems to work. I don't know why.
Like I said earlier, don't fix what ain't broken.
Nismo tries to get in with the puck, but offside. And early on here, Stockton has the better of the play. Now the Heat control dumped in. Puck is loose, so now Nismo picks it up. Up against the boards, Bobby Goggles. Bob Swagger. Shot on net, quick one, good save by Trash Clown, and now Wyatt flips it back in. Halfway through the first period, no score here. Game 2. TSibs and Biggs with you. Stockton moving the puck. Good passing in front. Puck is loose. Back out again. And the rebound.
No goal.
Going to call it no goal for now. We'll see if there's a review. What may have happened. Might say that Bello interfered, but I don't think it was much of an interference there.
Knowing EA, that's probably not a goal.
Yeah, that's kind of an iffy call, to be honest about it. It looks like they're going to wave it off. So no goal in this one. Well,
it seems as long as you touch the goalie the smallest bit, you're getting no goal in this.
The funny thing is, I've seen some recently where guys are getting absolutely crushed in net, and they call goals. So it's really inconsistent in this game.
A lot of it too is it depends on which player hits it. Like I've seen players hit, the defending team's defense into the net, and that causes a legit goal, and even the goalie gets interfered with by his own player, it's legit, right?
Swagger. Nismo gets a shot, wide angle. Trash Clown holding the post, makes the save. Ethan not able to get that pass, and so starting back out again is Stockton with Jason. Can't control it. Now the Bears come back out. Ethan able to get a pass in front, and the shot goes off the post. Swagger with an opportunity there, but catching iron, and now back the other way is the Heat. Jason looking for someone. Bears clog up the middle and start back out the other way. Ethan, another good quick shot on the corner there, but again, Trash Clown holding steady. Puck out front and loose, but picked up. Like Matt got a hold of that one and start to up, and the Heat offside on that one. Guys wearing your name on their jersey as a remembrance, or is that a leftover from...
That's all your fault, ain't
I know.
TSibs?
I know. It's
My
always
team
my
took
fault.
it far, and now I got a full fan base on my team for that name. I've
Your
learned to embrace it.
Your team holds errors for a long time. This period is coming down to the end, and an attempt there from Jason, but not able to get out front, and so we are scoreless after one. Good quick play, good opportunities early on for the Heat, and then a little bit later on in the period, the Bears had some solid chances, but maybe a little tight for both teams at this point.
Surprised there's no penalties. These guys have been pretty clean. Even last game, there was only one penalty on you guys. You guys talked about cutting down on penalties for both teams, and I was surprised to see 2 minutes complete for the entire game in penalties.
As you see, 2 shots on goal for both teams. Stockton putting the body on a little more in this game. Hershey with a little more time on attack, but it's been a pretty even game. As we head into the second period, and Hershey will tend to try and keep the big scorers away from their game, and I think that's a good strategy for any team to do. They will try and concentrate on taking away whoever the big scorer is on the team. So the Bears start in as we start the second period. Swagger, now to Nismo. Looking to get it out front, but not able to. And now partial breakaway, although the defense comes back now. And Moose able to make the save on Jason, who was leading the rush, but had to go wide for that puck and still gets a shot off. Puck sent out. No icing will be on this play. And Nismo intercepts the puck, but now throws in the front. He gets tripped. Penalty is going to be called here on Stockton, and the first power play of the game will be the Bears.
Speaking of no penalties,
Bello goes off for tripping. And so Jason in the penalty box now for the Stockton Heat as the Bears get a shot on off the faceoff. Now another. Puck is cleared out by Matt, and the Bears will have to start up again. Heat able to dump it in, kill some more penalty time. 1 minute left to go in this power play. Bears having a little issue just trying to get passes off at this point. Again, cleared out. Half a minute left to go. Here's Swagger. Now in front, Ethan could not get an opportunity there. And the Heat will clear it out and start back up the other way. Quick shot on net as the teams are now full strength. And the Bears will start again. Power play unsuccessful. Good quick shot on net. And Trash Clown holds on to it. Gets a little loose there, and he's able to stop the play. Now the Heat trying to start out again. Puck is loose. Will not be an icing as Wyatt picks it up, throws it up. Can't connect with Nisk. Well, now Ethan has it. Sort of a break in, but not quite. Nisk gets a shot on net. Tries to get a wraparound. Good defensive play there by the Heat defense to keep that wrap from going in.
It's hard not to get stressed out on stream, eh? You watch your own team play.
Well, I think we both have to live that one tonight, right? So it's not fun watching your own team, especially if they're not doing great. But nothing to fear for either one of us at this point with a 0-0 game here in the second half of the game is done that quickly. Not many whistles in this one yet. Now the Heat throw it in the corner. Jason able to pick it up, gets it out front. Shot on net, puck is loose. Good save by Moose on a loose puck there. Saints was not able to connect, and so now the Bears back the other way with an opportunity. And a good save by Trash Clan on Nismo. Now back again, Stockton. Play is starting to open up a little bit. Great pass, big save, yeah, by Moose. Oof. Good passing, though. Stockton, of course, we've seen a lot of this from their lines. And they are one to move the puck around. Good passing in this one, and Moose with a tremendous save there. Couple of major opportunities for Stockton there, Biggs, and only the goaltending keeping that puck out of the net at this point.
And Moose is the real deal. He's shown me nothing but that since.
Yeah. I kind of wish there were more games between the East and the West to give everybody a feel for what they're up against, but that is not the typical AHL schedule, so we don't run it. No icing on that one. Some of these icings can be kind of curious, too.
Oh, yeah. I think we got one iffy one against you guys in our game, too. We were all like, that's icing, and then it wasn't, and we're like, okay. Just as confused as you guys, I'm sure, and it can really throw off the play sometimes.
Puck back out to the point, but blocked, and now the other way comes Nismo. Trying to get it across to Ethan, but cannot. Wyatt keeps it in. Ethan out front to Nisk, but he fans on the shot. Still trying to keep it in. Under a minute left to go now in the period. Jason flips it into the right of Moose. Shot and a rebound, and not able to get it on net, but a good initial save by Moose to keep it out. Wyatt back the other way with a quick shot, but that will not count. As, again, another scoreless period. Both teams opening up a little bit more in this period, Biggs, and able to get some action going.
There's been a few major chances, but I think I almost guarantee that one of the goals going to be scored is going to be one of those dirty, gross goals. At this point, both goaltenders are playing super solid, and defense isn't letting much go by either.
Again, shots on goal, 8 for Stockton, 6 for Hershey. And time on attack still in favor of Hershey, as you see, by about a minute and a half. But a quick game so far, and joining us for the third period will be the newly deemed GM of the Manitoba Moose, Vibes Digital. Vibes, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, Sibs?
Well, we've got a scoreless game after 2, and we're starting the third period now. Been an interesting matchup so far.
Yeah, seems like it.
Stockton wins the faceoff off the initial draw here in the third. Puck being fought for in the corner by Ethan. And now Swagger starts out. Just offsides as Ethan, and so they'll have to start this one up again. Hershey, Swagger, good shot in the slot, but Trash Clown right there.
Good moves to get in on the goalie.
Stockton with the face-off win. Nismo able to intercept, and a good shot on net. A lot of traffic in front, but Nismo able to connect, beating on the glove side, Trash Clown, and the Bears get the first tally of the game here in the third period and take the 1-0 lead. Unassisted.
That's proof of a team that can capitalize on mistakes right there.
Now the Bears get it again, a 2-on-1 with Nismo and Ethan. Now it's 2-on-2. Good getting back there by Gregor and Matt, able to control it. Not a lot, as we said, after 2 periods, the shot's 8-6, so not a lot of offense the first 2 periods, and the Bears able to get something going here in the third so far, but this game, of course, is long from over with this Heat and their offensive abilities. Good save by Moose. The puck is sitting right there on the doorstep, and Saints had a stick on it and could not put it home. And if you weren't already on edge of your seat there, Biggs, that one had to really make you sick.
Oh, don't worry, I'm on the edge of my seat.
That's the thing about these games, man. It's a matter of inches sometimes.
That's about as close as you can get without scoring. Good play inside. Good follow-up by Jason, and he's able to put one home.
Just like that.
It's kind of bummer on Moose's part, too, there, because you're hugging the post and you make the save, and your goalie, when you come right off there, your goalie just jerks to the middle. It's a pain in the butt. I don't even play goalie, and I get frustrated watching players play goalie.
Just that quickly, the Heat tied up and are threatening again. Good passing. Not able to connect on the pass there was Gregor, who came down, and now the puck back out again, and the Heat trying to drive back in. Halfway through the third period, score 1-1 now. Loose puck in front, and a chance by T-Saints, but he puts it wide. Now the Heat coming back. Good moves and getting the puck close in net, not able to get anything going there, but now again another loose puck in front. Moose having to clear it away. Traffic hitting the Bears' crease constantly now as Saints gets off a shot and not able to jam it home, but the Heat have absolutely taken control of the pace here.
Stockton is turning up the temperature.
Jason out front. Saints couldn't connect. Another pass in front. And Moose getting a workout. A lot of activity in front of his net. And the Bears struggling to get it out of their own zone.
It's like a player's glitch on our team.
Now finally the Bears clear it out. Nismo controlling. Tries to snap off a wrister that gets blocked and back into the Bears zone. This will be icing. Jason from Gregor at 8:45 tying this game up. As you see now, Stockton went from 8 shots to 15 in this third period. Meanwhile, the Bears have only added 2 shots in this period, so Stockton getting the better of the play right now and have taken over time on attack as well. So there's a big turn in this third period for the Heat.
It's interesting to see someone be beating Ajax on face-offs because he's probably been one of the best face-off guys for us all season. Who's playing center for you guys right now?
Bob Swagger is the center for the Hershey Bears. Nismo on the left and Ethan on the right. Swagger has, he's had a pretty good season too. Certainly not the big numbers that Mafia Man had put up, but obviously a consistent player and also fielded a hell of a team this year.
Yeah, you got to give lots of credit to both these GMs this season.
Oh, without question. Now the Heat controlling in front. Good save and clear out by Pounder. Now Nismo the other way floats it in as we approach the 3-minute mark here in the third period at a 1-1 tie. Jason trying to get past Pounder. Now throws it back to the point. Saints out front. Play broken up, and the Bears trying to get it out. Finally able to float it out. Wyatt's going to get called on an icing on that. One minute now in the third period. Bears
see if Stockton can exploit Haji's side of the ice.
I didn't want to say it.
Something I'd keep an eye on here.
Wyatt floats it up, but the Heat intercept, now come back the other way. Saints flips it around for Jason. Actually, that's Ajax in front. Puck is loose after initial shot. Moose not able to cover it up, and now back behind the net. Out to the point again for Gregor, but not able to hold it in, and so he will start over again. Try and get one more rush here as we get 20 seconds. And a trip on the Hershey Bears. Looks like Swagger's going to go off. Late power play here, 15.3 in the third. Jason controlling. Looking to find Saints in front, could not connect with him. Gregor keeps it in. Now Saints again, block shot. The Bears not able to clear it out, but the buzzer sounds, and we are going to go into overtime, the first one in this final series.
Not too surprised to see that.
Yeah, and the Heat with a power play to continue on here in the first overtime period. So a lot of great activity for the Heat. Obviously, the Bears got on the scoreboard first with Nismo unassisted at 2:39, but then Jason coming back a little bit later on off an assist from Gregor at 8:45. And that quickly, the Heat were able to tie it up and then just took over the pace of the play from there. As you see, 18-8 shots on goal in this one for the Stockton Heat. And the way they turned it on in the third period, Biggs, you guys have been able to do that all playoff long.
And these guys, I'd call them like the energy line. They feed off emotion like that. They know they're playing well. I'd be scared of them if I was playing against them. They've got some good momentum right now. But it's OT, so anything can happen. This is a one-goal game.
As they still kill a power play here, the Bears get in there with Nismo, and now it's going to be a 4-on-4 as he's able to draw a penalty, tripping. And that'll get us here at a 4-on-4 on the ice, open up the ice a little bit. Ethan with a shot on net. Good save by Trash Clown. His positioning's been solid tonight. Again holding the post as Nismo tries to sneak one past him, but he makes the save. An attempt there by Ajax to try and get something going in the zone, but now the Bears come back out again. 10 seconds left to go in the 4-on-4, and then the Bears will have a power play, a short-lived one. Heat controlling right now, and there'll be an offside. Bears still have 28 seconds left to go on this power play. This is a moment where both teams might be a little tentative, don't want to lose it right away, don't want to give up really bad chances in overtime, so it may be a little tight.
Yeah, you won't see no risky plays anymore.
Nismo, blast, good save by Trash Clown. Again, going for that upper corner, and he gets a shoulder on it. Wyatt, that's a dangerous play.
Oh.
That's a biggie play right there, ain't vibes?
Yeah.
Bears able to control it now, intercepted. Jason looking for someone behind the net. He's got Saints. Broken up by Nismo. Now Wyatt throws it forward. Gets his own pass, and now it's Ethan to Swagger. Shot on net. Holding his ground is Trash Clown. The Bears not able to get that play finished off. Good, again, good positioning by Trash Clown. Good defensive play to clear it out.
It's plays like that where I'm happy that I'm not playing.
Or playing goalie.
Right.
Bears trying to go up again. Goggles has Nismo with him. Now again, looking the short side, and Trash Clown not going for that at all tonight. And now back the other way. Go ahead.
You see a lot of trust in your defense. Your goalie's got a lot of trust in their defense on both teams here. They're playing that short side real nice.
Boy, and isn't that so important for the goaltender to just concentrate on the shooter and not worry about getting over all the time?
That's the difference between a good goaltender looking good and a good goaltender who doesn't look like anything on a crappy team. You can look like an absolute bag of it if you don't have a good defense with you, especially in this game.
Ethan, now Wyatt gets a shot, goes wide. Nismo. Ethan tries to pick it up. No go for him. Now the puck finally. Vibes has it affected me. Now taken out by the Heat.
Sibs, the language from you.
No. Bears starting out again. Nismo throws it on net, looking for a rebound. Trash Clown controls it. You can see where that play was going, but Trash not giving up the rebound.
Anything on net works in this game, especially in OT.
Boy, isn't that the truth about 17, huh?
Yeah. It was worse last season. I would play in NHL and all I would do is throw turds on net and everything would go in or get tipped.
Feels like play's starting to even out here a little bit.
T-Saints shot, trying to go to the far corner, but Moose getting a glove on it. You see the overtime shots, Hershey 6, Heat 1. That was their first shot in overtime. Puck is loose off of a deflection, and now a good opportunity. Jason not able to catch Moose on the right side, still controls. Out front, Pounder tries to get away from him, but still can't. Heat control. Shot on net is partially blocked, and now Wyatt tries to get it out and gets it to Nismo. We're under 2 minutes in the overtime, this first overtime. Ethan trying to get in front for Nismo, but can't connect, and the Heat come back the other way. There's going to be a penalty on Hershey now, a tripping call delayed as Jason was tripped up trying to carry that puck, and the Heat not able to do anything with it until the penalty called, but now the Heat have a power play for 2 minutes. Swagger goes off for tripping here late in the overtime, first overtime, and the Heat with a golden opportunity.
It's got to be tough being a leader on a line, trying to tell your team sometimes too, don't take any penalties when you're the one taking it.
Yeah. Jason, good move. Gets it out front. Moose holds his ground and will hold the puck.
Got to hold your breath if you're a Hershey fan there.
Puck back out to the point, but now Nismo controls it. Tries to get a pass off, gets it back. And killing time and killing the puck a bit. Ethan gets it over, tries to get a shot. Nismo actually blocked it. And now a penalty is going to get called on Stockton, and this will even it out at 4.
Seemed to be a habit of this line to end up being able to draw penalties out when they're on the penalty kill.
Opportunity there as the pass is partially blocked from T-Saints, and so the Bears able to come out with it now. Ethan trying to control, looking for Nismo. Now Nis getting in front, looking for someone. Shot is blocked. Good play by Matt as he comes back with it. Up to Saints. 20 seconds left to go in this overtime. That's Jason now controlling. Now back out to Matt. Over to Gregor. His flip in front is blocked off, and now quickly the other way as Nismo with 3. He's not able to get over the line. And no chance, no opportunity there as the 4-on-4 will continue into the second overtime. And neither one of these teams is going to give in lightly. We are still at 1-1 going into second overtime. I actually expected to see at least I was kind of thinking I would see at least 2 overtime games in this series because I think both of these teams can match up like this well. And the fact that we've got an overtime in this one and a second overtime, not surprising to me at all.
I'm excited to see the Pasta line out. They've been pretty iffy throughout the playoffs, and I'm really excited to see what they're going to bring up against you guys.
Like we said in the show yesterday, there are matchups you can play towards them, but both of these teams are pretty well stacked. You're matching up more about style of play than level of play for the most part, I think. And obviously Bobby's going to want to do something when the Bears have home ice, but again, against these 3 lines for Stockton, what are you really matching up against?
Yeah, matchups are a big thing, but there comes a time where it's time to play, so.
Pass out to Wyatt, and Trash Clown anticipating that well. Easy glove save for him, and he'll hold. Power play for Hershey now. 23 seconds left to go in there. Pounder gets a shot off the faceoff. Good play. Now Goggles trying to get out front. Good poke check. And the Heat are able to clear it out as that power play is over. Teams back at 5 each. And the Bears are offside.
I was confused. I didn't think it was offside there.
Well, we know EA is never wrong, so obviously it wasn't offside. Wyatt trying to get it out, but he's knocked off the puck. Saints able to flip it out right to the corner. And a good play by Moose as Bello had 2 chances there and could not put it home. You see 21 saves for Moose so far.
Wouldn't be surprised to see 2 goalies as the stars at the end of this game.
Good check by Nismo. He's going to get a penalty, though. He's going to draw a boarding off of that one, or a charge, actually. And so the Heat get another power play opportunity here. Hershey able to clear it down, and Stockton will start out again on the power play. Pounder able to steal it, and now coming the other way is Ethan. Flipped, and a good save as it went back the other way, but Trash was able to get a blocker on it.
It's a good save while on the power play.
Plenty of net open, but he was able to get the blocker just enough on that one. As the Heat now try again on the power play. 30 left to go in this one. Jason controlling. Saints, and now pass out front, broken up by White and flipped out. Impressed by the positioning of the Heat players. When they're trying to do something here, they're able to know where each other's going to be for these passes, and it's, again, a big part of why they've done so well. Power play was over, so now we're at even strength. Again, hit the 13-minute mark of this second overtime, and the Bears looking to move out here. Nismo in the corner. Gets it around to Ethan. Back for Nismo, but he's not able to hold on to it, and the Heat are able to control. As quickly as this game played earlier on now, it's taking a long time in the second overtime. Jason tries to get it out front. Puck is loose.
Oh my God.
Moose left a good chunk of the net open.
I'm still calling this game-winning goal is going to be a garbage goal.
Yeah, well.
We've seen that more than once.
That was almost it. I mean, that was a very awkward shovel type of shot from just in front of the net. It almost went, so.
Jason able to move around the defense, but not able to get a shot off. Another play in front, a shot by Saints, and Moose is there for it. Bears trouble getting it out. Another shot. Good pass, and Jason just puts it wide. Gets it again. Now back out to the point, and now the Bears will start out with it.
What
Good
a
hit.
What a hit.
Big hit on Goggles, and so the Bears have to start over again. Under 6 minutes left to go in the second overtime. Nismo almost with the interception, but Heat able to get it out.
Look out here.
Good play. Nice play by Jason, but Moose was there for it. Ethan now trying to move it out. Jason has been all over the ice tonight for the Stockton Heat and has played incredibly well. Ethan. Nismo to Swagger. Now Ethan again. Swagger flips it on net, looking for a rebound or anything. Puck still loose, dangerously on the corner of the net. Heat trying to work it out. And now Deuce starting back the other way. Under 2 minutes in this overtime now. He flip it back in, but Jason way offside.
Wish you could have a button you can press where your player doesn't. You choose him to not pick up the puck in a situation like that, or try to go for it.
Trip, and that's going to be a penalty on the Hershey Bears. It'll be another opportunity here.
Yeah, Hershey Bears are getting themselves into some penalty trouble here. Let's see if it comes back to bite them.
Stockton doesn't really capitalize, though. They've had one shot in 3 power plays.
Yeah.
Another trip, and I think that was against Swagger, so he is off again. And Jason looking for his men to clear, now comes into the zone. Good hit by Ethan to knock him off the puck and flip it out. Now back in on the Heat. Pass in front, good play by Saints as he's able to backhand one in front, but no connection, and the Hershey Bears will start out with it again.
Oh, look out here.
Getting back on defense is Wyatt. Shot does get off, but good play by Wyatt to come all the way back and then control the puck. Nismo flips one on, but not able to get it. I'm sorry, there is Swagger out there, so I think it might have been Pounder who took that penalty. 50 seconds left to go in that one, and you get that slow last minute clock here, which is an advantage for the Heat.
It's all haunted us at one point.
And the Bears able to clear it out as we get down to the last 5 seconds of this overtime period. One last chance for the Heat. Trying to move it in front, and Jason again with a good opportunity. Couldn't get Moose to bite. Tries to get it out front, but nobody's there. And we're going to go into a third overtime.
This is insane.
One of the more interesting games I think I might have seen in the final so far. Two teams just not giving in. We take a quick look at the stats here. 26 shots on goal for the Stockton Heat. 19 for Hershey. Time on attack is about 3 minutes in advantage for the Heat. And the Bears winning on faceoffs. But, yeah, not much in the way of power plays, and neither team has been able to score a power play goal in this game.
I'm not sure what Hershey had for power play shots, but they've also put a lot of pressure on Stockton on the penalty kill.
I'd like to see Stockton try and exploit the middle of the ice a little bit more. The wingers keep taking it wide. If they were able to get inside, and it's not like the defense is that shut down to the point where you can't get in on them, but if you can get in onside this defense and then take it to the net, I think you'd have a better chance.
Start the third overtime, and the Hershey Bears now controlling. Pass intercepted. Bears are able to control it now. Get it out, but pass was intercepted by Jason, not able to keep it onside, so now we have an offside faceoff just outside the Hershey Bears zone. Flip in front. Good control. And now the Bears will start out with it again. Play broken up, and Jason pushes it ahead. Good shot there by Ajax, looking for a rebound. None available. Now another shot is partially blocked. Pounder able to flip it out of the zone. Good play to just clear it out. Now the Heat starting out again. Puck is loose. Out front. Don't know if Moose is stuck in an animation or just didn't feel like covering it, but now the Bears come the other way. Nismo in front for Swagger. Good opportunity. Trash Clown is there to stop it.
This game is very back and forth.
Jason.
A lot of rush zone and failure and breakouts. There hasn't been too much cycling. It's just been mostly rush.
Yeah, your turn, my turn. Your turn, my turn.
Yeah. And then it gets turned over a bit on the defense sometimes on each side.
Jason again looking to get something short side, but Moose holding on.
Moose is just playing incredibly right now.
He's been that way all playoffs, and I think his game is so much better than it was before.
Oh, look out.
Ethan with Nismo got a little bit crossed up there, and Ethan not able to get off a good shot. Now Nis in front for Swagger, but play broken up and Trash Clown able to hold. Maybe the best opportunity other than the goal that the Bears have had. Pounder's shot partially blocked. Almost cleared out by Matt. Not able to totally get it out. And now the Heat will start back the other way. 8 minutes left to go in this third overtime. Play, pass in front. And that shot was partially deflected. And now Pounder gets it out. Good opportunity there for the Heat, but not able to connect. Puck thrown into the zone. This will be an icing on the Heat. Now Ethan shot in front, that one blocked. A lot of shots blocked on both sides. And a hit there by Ethan to steal the puck. Looking for somebody, gets a shot off. Trash Clown will hold it, but yeah, it looks like there's a lot of play in the middle, a lot of good defensive play, blocking a lot of shots on both sides. Pounder now to Nismo trying to get something in front, not able to do anything with it. Now it's flipped around back. Nismo gets it in front, but broken up and taken by the Heat. Another tripping penalty. As now the Heat with a good opportunity as Matt gets off a good shot of deflection, but Moose is able to save it and hold on. And the Bears will have to kill another 2-minute penalty here.
You have to wonder with all these chances, how does the puck not end up going in?
Not sure about that, and that one was awfully close. And again, controlling the Heat. Gregor looking to get it over, and there is the play.
There
Good
it is.
pass over, and a
Nice
beautiful
pass.
shot.
First shot that I feel like they've really gotten, grade A scoring chance from not outside. You know, it's the very first one. It ends up in the back of the net.
So the Stockton Heat in the third overtime, and I didn't catch who scored that one. It might have been Ajax in the middle. I'm not sure.
I think Ajax had the pass based off his play style right there, but I could be wrong.
But this overtime goal, third overtime it took, and a power play goal at that, as the Bears take one too many penalties and give up a goal there that was just a tough play, but a good passing opportunity. Found someone finally in the slot who was totally left alone, and the Stockton Heat have now taken a 2-0 lead in the series with a 1-0 triple overtime victory here. And these games are either incredibly exhilarating to win or incredibly heartbreaking to lose. And the Heat able to extend this series lead to 2-0. And that's got to probably take a little bit of load off of your GM's mind there, Biggs. But, as we talked about earlier, there's no resting game the game now.
Oh, no, that's for sure. I think our GM was the most stressed out person out of anyone tonight.
Well, we'll go back
to a big win for sure.
Yeah, no scoring in the first two periods in this one, and then it was the Bears getting on the board first with Nismo on an unassisted goal at 2:39 of the third, and then about 6 minutes later, it was Jason getting the Heat on the board, Gregor getting the assist at 8:45, and then in the third overtime, we are not clear who got that goal. It may have been Ajax. It may have been. I don't think it was Jason. I don't think he was. I think he was down lower, but we'll get some information on that hopefully before we're off the air here. But the Heat on a power play put one home and win this one. I'm sorry, 2-1, and just an incredible game to watch, and a lot. Basically two games being played in one. A lot of activity, and neither one of these teams wanting to give in vibes.
Yeah, and I mean the Bears. You have to credit them. They had they were a very resilient bunch, and Moose certainly gave them a chance to win this one. And if they could have won this one and tied the series, then it's a whole new ball game. But they weren't able to get it done, and now they find themselves in what I'm going to refer to as a must-win tomorrow. I know that if they do lose, they still get another crack at it. But I'm going to call tomorrow a must-win, because if they go down 3-0, they will not do what the Wild did and force this to a Game 7. This will be a short series, and I'll be right about the winner, but I may be wrong about the games, because if they lose tomorrow night, it may be a sweep.
Well, the Hershey Bears putting up a good effort tonight. Some solid defense and great goaltending by both teams, and as you say, I think Moose kept the Bears in this one a little longer. Certainly, Trash Clown made his share of big saves late in the third period, and certainly in overtime. But the Heat and the power play, finally, too many penalties for Hershey. That wound up sinking them eventually on this one.
It looks like Jason did get that goal. He got both goals tonight. Ajax must have gotten the assist, because he also got 2 assists tonight.
So, yeah, we know that Jason did score one of those goals, and we will hopefully be able to give you more information on that. Are stats in? Have you seen the stats on this yet, or no?
Yeah, I'm looking at them right now. Jason got both goals. Ajax got 2 assists. Jason had 18 shots on net that game.
Wow. That's he was all over the play. I mean, he was the controlling interest there who got a lot of opportunities and took advantage of them. And some great passing. I guess Jason had been driving so low near the net that he decided to come back towards the high slot, and was available for a play. And that's kind of what we talked about earlier, Biggs. And, you can't always keep doing the same thing. This is exactly what you said. You've got to try something different. Jason had been down low, been trying to get Moose on that post, but decided to get in the high slot for that play, gets a beautiful pass, and gets off a great one-timer, and finally beats Moose on that side.
Yeah, at that point, it wasn't beating the defense that Jason had to fix, because he had that pretty down packed, but it was just getting by King Moose over there.
Well, Moose with a tremendous game in this one, and certainly not feeling great about it. Both
goalies had amazing games. I mean, both of these goalies are the number 1 and number 2 star. And I might even say that Moose is in a losing effort might be the number 1 star, because I mean he man, did he play a game.
And great goaltending is not a shock in this series, is it, guys? Because again, we know what Moose is capable of. We know what TrashCon's capable of, and Flyers is a solid goaltender over there as well. We talked about it yesterday in our show. He had, on average, during the playoffs in the games that he did play, 20 shots on goal in all of those games and played very well. So, you're gonna hit a lot of good talent on the Stockton side for goaltending, and we know what Moose is capable of.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got those stats out if you guys want to take a look at them.
Yeah. What do you? Well, go ahead and read off at least. We know that Jason, you said had how many shots on goal?
18 shots, and then both T-Saints and Ajax also had 8 shots each.
Wow. Well, so what were the total shots for the goaltenders on either side? Or shots on
30
net?
shots for Stockton. So I guess Moose got 28 saves and 22 shots for Hershey.
Wow.
And I guess Trash stole first star away from Moose, but it's Trash and Moose in the top 2 spots.
And yeah, so now the official stats are in, and we'll take a look at them here and give you some idea in case you're not able to get to it right away. But yeah, shots on goal, 30-22, as you said. Time on attack, more than 4 minutes, almost 4.5 minutes in favor of Stockton. The penalty minutes up 10 full penalty minutes for the Bears, and Stockton 1 of 5 on the power play, and that one was at the end. And as you see with the scoring, Jason with both goals, Ajax 2 assists, and just a heck of a game on both sides. And as you even said, I think Vibes even said it, the 2 goaltenders should be right up there for top stars. I think you both might have said that, and certainly the game, the website has given Trash and Moose the 1 and 2 stars in this one. Even with Jason scoring 2 goals, the goaltending really the story of this game.
Absolutely. I mean, if not for that goaltending, that game is, who knows? That game could be 6-5 or 7-6 even, you know what I mean? So definitely the goaltending. I mean, 4 stars all around for both goalies.
Well, we got games 3 and 4 tomorrow night. And, at this point, as you said, Vibes, I think against a team like this, you better take 2 if you're the Bears. You don't want to be down 3-1 going into Wednesday night, because that's really going to be incredibly tough to do. The Wild did it because they may have caught Stockton a little bit relaxed, but the Bears can't expect Stockton to be that way tomorrow.
No, I mean, it's not a must-win technically unless you're 3 games in the hole. But tomorrow to me, game 3, down 2-0 is a must-win. So there's a good chance. I mean, Biggie might be cringing with me saying this because he doesn't want me to jinx his team or anything, but there's a good chance this could be a sweep.
Biggs, what are you feeling right now after this second game and this triple overtime win? Do you feel any differently about how to approach this series, or is it still full steam ahead and you can't worry about what just happened?
Well, I think we got the advantage of stress relieving. Like, obviously, we're not going to take the Bears easy, but they got the stress on their shoulders now. We're playing a little more stress-free and careful, and we might catch them being a little bit dangerously offensive next game or something, and that could play definitely in our hands.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to get into a little coaching strategy here. But from what I understand, I don't know what their availability is like, but Loops and them did not play tonight. So they have the Loops line at disposal here, where they can actually send this game out in game 3 and then put the Bears in a 3-0 hole. And if you're down 3-0, well, I don't know.
Well, that's an interesting strategy. Do you just go for the kill right now and throw what you can at them? I mean, you have to go back and look at what the Bears have done all playoffs long and what the strategy of the Heat has been. But they're in a position very similar to the Wild, where they had obviously had a 2-0 lead going into Tuesday night and took the first game. Do they change up how they approach these games tomorrow night? Then
No,
do
I
something
mean,
different, but or not.
you stay with what you were going to do. But if you ask me, what I would be doing here is, you have them on the ropes now, and the way game one went, it would make me feel like there's a pretty good chance that the Loops line could pull out a win. That being said, if you do that and they end up stealing one from you next, well, then it's a really quick momentum swing the other way. But if it was me, I would be putting out that line to go for a 3-0 series lead.
Another thing that's interesting too is that Hershey has never been down in a series yet, so it's new to them. It's going to be interesting to see how they play with that.
Yeah. I'll make a prediction here and say that if they do go down 3-0, it's a pretty safe prediction, but it's still a little ballsy, I guess. But I'll say that if they go down 3-0, the series is over.
Well, you know what? I said a lot of the same thing after game 3, and even after game 4 of the Wild series, when we were talking in the post game. I was already starting to figure out who if the Heat's next opponent in the finals would be concerned about how quickly they went through the Wild, and then the Wild made me look a little bit foolish by winning 3 in a row. But like I said, I think once that happens to you, there are two things you could do. You could either say, "Oh shit, it's happening again," and start panicking. But I don't think this Heat team is going to do that. I think what they're going to say is, let's just kill them outright this time. Don't leave any question of whether or not the corpse is actually a corpse, and let's put them away right now.
Yeah, and with all credit and respect due to Hershey, they're not the Wild, and they will not come back from a 3-0 all if it gets to that.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Biggs.
I was going to say that's something you can give the Wild credit to. Is I don't even know what their Game 7 lineup was when they were throwing one out. You could never tell. All 3 of their lines were pretty much the same skill level, so that's something they had for coming back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, at this point with the 2 games tomorrow, just in generic form, Biggs, because obviously you're not going to give away the game plan. But what are you expecting as a general, the general message that your management and your team are going to have for each other tomorrow?
Not to take Hershey lightly, we maybe have the advantage in a few ways, but one of our big mottos all year is, we play like we're down 2-0. You got to play like everything's on the line without putting, the stress on the players, but it prepares them for the big games. And I think something too is you got to pass the line that's obviously has to play tomorrow, and they haven't been performing up to their own expectations, and they're hungry for something. And if they play the way they've been practicing, these guys are something to, be scared of.
What are you looking for tomorrow, Vibes?
I'm looking for a 3-0 hole and a series finale in Game 4 is what I'm looking for.
You're not gonna let that up, are you?
No, I'm gonna ride it till the wheels fall off.
Well, I don't blame you right now. Again, the driver's seat is firmly entrenched under the Stockton Heat, and it's going to take a lot of digging for the Bears to get out of this one.
Yeah, I'll admit I'm a pot stirrer, and if even if it lights a fire under Hershey and they get something done and they prove me wrong, then hats off to them. It's great. If Stockton's going to win, I want them to beat Hershey at their best. So whatever. But it's how I feel, and I'm sorry. I'm just laughing at Moose in the chat.
Moose is an emotional young fella. So
he's really, I'm gonna lock my windows tonight. Let me tell you, all right?
Well, he actually has sent me a message saying, "Tell Vibes we aren't out of it yet." He says he has a fire extinguisher in his jersey tucked away for tomorrow.
Well, you know what? I'll also say this: that as long as Hershey has Moose back there, they have a chance. So
that's another thing. What happens if you go down 3-0 and you're well, I guess you're not stuck putting TSibs in that yet.
Well, not a game 4. No. I have no problem with the way he just put that, because Moose is by far the better of the goaltenders. Yeah,
but you got to be careful where you put him in. I mean, I'm not going to go as far as saying TSibs isn't bad, but when you got Moose in net and your team gets used to it, right? What are they giving him, and what are they giving TSibs for?
Oh no, I agree. I definitely agree there. And I mean, like, so, and that raises a really good point. I mean, if even further, I don't know. I mean, being down 2-0, I don't want to call a series over because it's not. But they do have to play Sibs again, and unless Sibs can pull one out here. A lot of pressure on you, Sibs. A lot of pressure on you right now. Being down 2-0, there is a lot of pressure on you. Let me tell you, because you have to win a game. I'm just going to tell you that you have to win a game.
Well, well, not necessarily. It all depends on what happens the next couple of games and whether or not I play or not play. I don't know. I honestly, and I tell people this, and I'm sure they don't believe me. I have no idea what game I'm playing or. I don't know I know when when the lineups actually go in, and then maybe Bob will send me a message on Skype. But, oh, by the way, I scheduled you for the game. So I don't know any sooner than you guys know. I swear, I have no clue what the next game is that I'm playing.
But the thing is this: if you'd have to win. So you have to play 2 and 6. So I mean, they would have to win even if they won 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5, then you come around for 6. And this isn't. Look, I'm not trying to take anything away from you because you're a great goaltender, but I do think that Moose is a slightly better goaltender. That's just me being honest. And you'd have to win a game to push it to a 7. Otherwise, it goes 7, and then can Hershey really beat Stockton in a game 7?
If we don't win a game tomorrow, then yes. It is absolutely up to me to at some point, if we get to a game, we get to a game 5 or 6, I'd have to win. But yeah, it's look, I don't think Moose is a little bit better than me. I think Moose is a lot better than I am, and I think the numbers prove that out. I think if you look at the games that he plays, his positioning and his anticipation is a good deal better, and you want Moose in, I think, as much as you can. Where you play me, like you say, you got to be careful where you play me. Absolutely. If we win only 1 tomorrow, then yes, you have to decide what is TSibs going to play in. Is he going to play in? What's the next game that he's going to play? If I don't play one of them tomorrow, well, I don't need to play one of them tomorrow, right, for the rules. But if I play one tomorrow, I have to play one of the games 5 and 6. And then we go from there. So we'll see.
A lot of it matters too on what happens game 1 or game 3 tomorrow. I mean, maybe if you guys take game 3, it's the chance that you guys throw you out for, eliminating you having to play any more games, and it's also a question of who do you play you with, right? Are you playing with a top line as a goaltender, or are you throwing out with, potentially the lower line? Expecting an upset,
but we might also be we could. I think we might be being a little unfair here too, because let's not lose sight of the fact that Sibs has had one hell of a season too. So, there is that. So, it's not like putting Sibs is a loss, but I don't know.
I think you might have said this before, Biggs, and it's part. And I think there were two things to think about with the defense. I think they play a little bit more confidently with Moose behind them, but there's a reason to Vibe's point. There's a reason why I've done so well, and that is that the defense, no matter who I've played with, has played well in front of me just about every time this year, and that's a big reason why my record and my numbers look so good, is because they don't have so much more confidence in Moose that they let it go when he's in net, but they're like right next to me the whole time when I'm in net. They have it's sort of both are going on. They definitely have more confidence when Moose is there, but they also continue to play well and still help out offensively when I'm in net. So that's how good the defense has been overall in this team. And I would say, Biggs, you probably experience the same thing with the Heat. You've got two really solid goaltenders, but I don't think it really makes that much of a difference, because your defense, as we talked about earlier, is so good on your team that it doesn't really matter who is playing in net. You're going to play your style. You're going to play your game, and you guys have been incredibly successful that way.
Yeah, and I think it kind of plays in your favor too when like you say, your defense might have more confidence in Moose, but it also means that when you're in net, and this is no, not condescending to you, but
sure.
they're gonna step up their game, going like, we could do this for Sibs, right?
Right.
And he's gonna do his best, and we're gonna make the extra effort that we don't put him in a situation that makes him look bad.
Yeah, I think they do some of that, but I guess what I was trying to say is that it isn't such a drastic change when I'm in net. They do make a little bit of an effort. They do, but I think it's not like on some teams you've got your real star goaltender, and then you may have such a step down to your second goalie that that when you play defense that night, I really can't worry about being on the point that much. I've got to make sure that nobody's getting behind me, and it's really important for that to be the case. So I don't think they worry that much, but I do think that they probably do want to be a little more, a little more conscious of it when I'm in net. But it's
also
too big of a drop.
A factor on the enemy team too, right? What kind of intimidation does Moose bring out?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that's a big part of it. I like your goaltenders a lot. Of the four of us, I probably would put Moose at the top with your guys right below.
That.
Yeah, I mean,
you
guys right there.
I love both my goaltenders, and I would probably still pick them over Moose, but that's a lot of that has to do with party presence. But I mean, Moose is definitely, as far as stats and as far as what I've seen tonight, probably the top goaltender in this series.
But tomorrow's going to be an interesting day. We already know what Vibes thinks may happen. What's your general feel about this, Biggs? Is this something that, how far-fetched is it for Stockton to close it out tomorrow, or do you think that, that's not a totally realistic thought process?
I'm not truly concerned about it. In loops we trust, and that's how it's been all season.
Yeah.
I go out there, play my games. I'm a bit more party presence than he is, but when it comes down to the science of who we're playing and what's happening tomorrow, he's the mastermind behind it all. So I think we complement each other well as GM, AGM, and I think our team's got our back, and we're obviously aiming for the sweep, but no one wants to see it on the other side. But we're just out there to play our best hockey, and we're going to see where it goes tomorrow.
All right, well, we will possibly be on air tomorrow with the games live again, depending on whether or not I'm playing. If not, I'm always streaming, and so you can always catch my stream on Twitch, TSibs88. But if I am not playing, I will be on here again broadcasting, and hopefully we'll we'll get some of the guys back again, get somebody else. If Biggs is not playing, he can join. If not, we'll try and find somebody else from Stockton, try and give you some balanced coverage. And thanks a lot tonight, Biggs. You did a great job, and I appreciate you hanging out with us on the game tonight.
Right back at you, Sibs.
Vibes, any final thoughts as we roll credits here?
Just hope we didn't blow Moose's head up too big, because we definitely gave him a lot of credit. But I mean, I think it's well deserved. It's all right. Your season doesn't last much longer anyway, so.
Well, I've been given a directive from Moose to kill you, but I think you're more used to me as part of the media than Dan,
yeah.
So I'll skip that.
Yep.
All right, thanks again, Vibes. I appreciate it tonight, and thanks again to Biggs for joining me. We will be maybe back on tomorrow night, and we'll get that information out as soon as we can. But until then, Game 2, the final in triple overtime. It's Stockton 2, and the Bears won. The Heat now take a 2-0 series lead in this Calder Cup final. We will talk to you tomorrow night, one way or another.